Блин, ребят. Ну чего падаете? Чего падаете? Мне кажется, я умираю, ребят. Смерть, она непредсказуема, понимаете? Она может достать вас там, где вы высоко. Там высоко. Ой, жесть, ничего не работает. Блин, мне так лень. Еще испортили расписание. Зачем, непонятно. Это что, мрази? Там высоко. Век облаков. Ну, дебилы. Просто дебилы. Дебилы. Взяли мне окно, образовали. То что мрази. Тупые, глупые мрази. Поэтому меня школа и бесит. Потому что тупые, глупые мрази. Это, наверное, один из последних стримов по Starfield на ближайшее время. Потому что на неделе ближайшей с очень большой вероятностью стримов не будет. У меня есть первый урок, нет второго урока, есть третий урок, нет четвертого урока. Даже не так. Они отображают так, как будто бы у меня нет одного урока, у меня нет двух уроков. Ну, короче, реально мне просто испортили расписание. Я очень зол. Да позвольте мне Господь уйти из школы раньше, чем что-либо случится. Так, а где звук у вас? Так, если мы закрутим. Сейчас, секунду. Нет, что он правильно стоит. Просто нет звука. Слушай, нет звука у вас. Почему? Мне не очень понятно, почему у вас нет звука. Все, теперь есть. Ну, конфермер, работает. Так, у меня, по-моему, денег больше нет.
If you don't see what you want, feel... Oh, please, take a look.
Take a look. О, не, у него косарь. Да, блин.
Oh, please, take a look.
Take a look. Calibrated Rattler. Calibrated Coachman. Да что ж такое-то?
Appreciate the business.
We appreciate that you appreciate the business.
Hey there, new girl. Good to see you again. Stop by anytime you'd like to catch up.
Yes? What? I asked my boss what they're doing to stop new alien attacks.
Посмотрите на мой хп. Нам нужен доктор. Вот и фулл променад. Самое главное, я сожрал антибиотик. И он не помог. Мне нужен доктор. По-моему, Trade Authority где-то там значок должен быть. Фак. Точно была типа аптечка. Или что-то в этом роде. Железно. Вам говорю. Где эта больничка? Блин. По-моему, полностью убить меня она не может.
I've got limited resources. Try not to turn anyone away, just... We're doing the best we can here. Well, that's what I'm here for. See what we're dealing with. Good lord. How'd you even make it in here?
Ты Кир выдул. Ну ладно.
Don't worry, I'm good with stitches. You may not even see a scar. Okay, just relax, and we'll get you back to normal. All right, you should be fine now.
Угу.
Funny story about that. You know, when people first arrived on Jemison, they dismantled the colony ship and used the parts to establish a place to live. Over time, they built out, and up, and up, and after long enough, they started to forget about the people and things still down here. The walls and the ceiling have changed, but this place still uses equipment from that old ship. And it's here because not everyone in New Atlantis can afford Reliant Medical.
Угу.
Don't have much of a choice. Can't afford to pay staff, and while I've got a few volunteers from the community, I can only ask so much of them. We've scraped by for a good long while now, and we'll continue to do so. Don't you worry.
I'm telling you, it's a cover-up.
We're no Reliant Medical down here, but if you've got credits, I might have something for you.
Нет, нет, он есть антибиотики. дешево, в принципе. Установили антибиотик. Медпаки 500 стоят, ничего себе. Ну, только что я видел чувак, который торгует этим.
Private sector. Now that's where the real money's at. Hello?
You know, I went to chef school. This ain't exactly where I saw myself.
Telling you, Bianchi, something's wrong with the boots you sold me. I wear them to the metro. Suddenly, the shuttle runs late. I buy a cup of coffee, and the barista screws up my order. It's like I'm walking under ladders with a broken mirror in my pocket. And the only time it happens is when I'm wearing your boots.
So, what do you want me to do about it?
I want a damn refund.
Fine, fine. I'll take the boots back. Just don't tell anyone you bought them from here. Happy to make a deal. You need stuff, I need... Personally, I think daylight's overrated. I get by just fine. A lot of people will tell you it's the worst. One step above being homeless. They'll whine about how folks topside have it so much better. Me? I like it. It's more real down here. Topside, everyone's trying to show how civilized and rich they are. Oh, it's exhausting. But hey, to each their own. Look around. You tell me. You see it's a big organization. Lot
Да
of
что ж такое?
planets, lot of people, whole lot to keep track of. Sometimes they don't do such a good job of that. Sometimes stuff falls through the cracks, winds up collecting dust in some warehouse. But that's all right, because I, and by extension you, get to benefit. I make great deals on stuff in bulk, you get some low prices. Everyone wins. Absolutely.
Торгует говном. Поняли? Блин, так у него денег почти нет. Считайте, что он нищеброд. Все, Бартолюк без денег.
Ugh, right. The boots. I hate to admit it, but she has a point. She's the third customer to return the pair, all for the same reason. The boots might really be cursed. I thought about it once, but then I thought better of it. Best not to tempt fate. And besides, they're not my size. And risk releasing whatever's inside them? I've seen enough horror vids to know how this goes. Like most of my supply from one of my UC contacts. Or after the second customer returned the boots, I got curious and I did some digging. Turns out they were seized from a House of Arun ship. That alone is enough to convince me something's amiss. It doesn't matter if you believe it. Somebody might, and that's bad for business. Hey, you're a pilot, right? Maybe you can do me a favor. I've heard of a UC station at the far end of the galaxy called the Den.
Угу.
You go there and stash these boots in a crate, and I'll give you credits as a compensation. Finally, someone to give these blasted boots the boot, if you pardon the expression. Here, I'll have your credits for you when the job is done.
What?
It's cliche. The Trade Authority has... You won't find a better selection or more reasonable prices anywhere.
Так, у нее 11к. Какие-то хайповые пушки, конечно. Фигня. Масса у нас все равно превышает все мыслимые и немыслимые пределы. Это прикольно. Но они одинаковые.
Pleasure dealing with you.
Hey, it's my... What can I take off your hands? Safe travels.
Я не очень хорошо разговариваю сегодня, ребят. Потому что у меня горло болит, я особо говорить не буду, просто хочу поиграть. Блин, что я сделал? Я случайно не хотел брать этот кал. Да что же это такое? Так, погодите, я хочу понять, как ящик. А, они входят в категорию украшения. А, лол. Ну, я тупой, получается. что-то на унитазе. Как их сразу не понял? Действительно, в Decorations просто оказались. Все собрали, по идее. 150. Вместимость. Давайте начнем с ресурсов. Так. Что у нас дофига обстоится? Не, еще что-то 3 штуки какие-то можно. Ай, блин. Ну все, по идее, дальше вот только мелкие. Ну, блин, еще все поместится, скорее всего. Что еще не будешь ложиться? Забавно, что у меня шлемов больше нет. Сорок шесть, 62 здесь. 92-84, нифига. Потому что физический урон немногим. Ну, термал лучше гораздо. Не, ну мне кажется, это супер мощно. Вот этот костюм можно оставить, короче, вот этот. Не, ну это прям вообще убийственно. Короче, оставляем вот это и вот это. Ну, сопротивление этим штукам еще. А, легендар, кстати, написан. Лол. Рарка, эпичка. Ну, я только сейчас это заметил. Эти продаем нафиг. Эти две выкладываем. Теперь оружие. Ну, по идее. А много мы хп потеряли? Говорю, хп.
anything about the trade business? Of course, of course.
Как прекрасно иметь дело с прекрасными людьми. Да блин, нафиг мне она. Странно. Не, все остальное нормально. А зачем мне драмбит? И modified драмбит. Зачем ему small magazine? Ладно, не важно. Где говно, которое мне не нравится? Вот это, да, ну? Furious Modified Equinox. Лазерное оружие, фигачит энергии. Думаю, мне больше с этим говном не надо ходить. Он служил нам верой и правдой, мы пока его не будем убирать.
If you need anything else, you know where to find us.
Нормально. Так, давайте все переставим. Мое любимое оружие — это Грендель. Грендель будет номером 1. Хотя урон у него, конечно, не ахти. Дальше вторым будет Эквинокс. Ой, Драмбит. Пускай это будет третьим. Пускай это будет четвертым. Пускай это будет пятым. Пускай это будет шестым. Пускай это будет седьмым. Так вот.
Ever run into spacers? Scumbags and scavengers. They're like vultures, picking away at the leftovers of the colony war. You'll find them scouring old labs and facilities, taking whatever's not nailed down.
Прикольно. А что пишет он про эти оружия? Disable 20 against robots. Очень высокая скорострельность. Ну, это я без понятия, что за ривет.
If there's something you need, be my guest.
$77 мне нужно. 2300. У нас полно бабла. Почему нет?
The Trade Authority appreciates your visit.
Signed up for a test pilot
Все,
program
поехали.
just the other day.
Теперь по миссиям.
I'm not gonna end up like these lifers and well rats. No way. Not me.
Хотя мы качнулись чем-нибудь вообще. Раз уж потратили время. Чё? Ну ладно. Есть две двойные. Две двойные имеются. Значит, это и это. Это последний уровень. Но здесь точно не трешка. Тут нет одинаковых трешек, поэтому здесь 100%. Либо широкий, либо маленький круг. Вот. Но надо еще пытать счастье с четверкой. Тут без шансов. Короче, четверка вообще не подходит. Четверку нафиг. Блин, по факту не очень всё хорошо. Это раз. Это два. У меня все остается мое. Одна есть, да? Была одна, да. Здорово, пацаны. Я случайно не туда пошел, пацаны.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for? So, what exactly are you doing here? Plenty still to be done in defeating the Terramorphs, no? Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong conclusions. After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attacks. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us. You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti, New Atlantis, my doing.
Жесть. Быстро.
Years of coordination between my associate and I, figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian, learning to synthesize it, use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing. Oh, my revenge was far from petty, Captain. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's Terramorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential.
М.
Simple to say now, but with the outbreak raging from a barely understood source, the moment demanded quick action. So I did what was required. I removed the dangerous variable from an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You.
Прикольно. Я не ожидал, что это он, ну, потому что я подумал, это так тупо. Типа, слишком очевидно, да? Ну, как бы, все намекало на него, но мотивы прикольные.
Why would I want to be in the good graces of the people who control my very life? I don't know, Captain. Maybe I still dream of a life outside these walls someday. A new face would be needed, of course, but it wasn't an impossibility. Though now, I'm not so sure. It wasn't easy. But the beauty of being loathed is that people will do whatever they can not to deal with you. They wanted to pretend I didn't exist. And so I used their blind eye to my advantage. Jones was painstaking work. I've led campaigns less nerve-wracking. They believed they were luring in wanted criminals, but were in fact delivering precisely encoded slates, filled with instructions invisible to any but their recipient. Dropped off at just the right moments to fall into the proper hands. All without the UC realizing whom you were actually dealing with. Slow work. But as you can see, ultimately effective.
Серьезно, они помнят, какой Лейс?
Can't remember the many lives you've taken. Orlaise was the man whose death you brought about around the moon of Etheria. The pilot of the Warlock. The man I had to eliminate. To hide my secret. Captain, please. You've benefited here as much as I have. Maybe more. It's why I had Orlaise reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning to honor both you and Hadrian once this is all done. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard? With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday.
Я уже купил.
Something befitting the dedication to the colonies you two have shown. While of course they can't give you a command, responsibility like that has to be earned. The Cabinet does have access to considerable resources. I expect you'll be quite pleased with the result. And none of it would have happened without my intervention. Precisely. And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the Terramorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine. I've already sent along the evidence of Orlaise's role in the attacks to the Cabinet, leaving out my own involvement. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the Cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlaise and Orlaise alone. After all, you still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together.
Но мне не очень нравится его идея.
And how many have you killed to get where you are now? There are no great works that don't cost lives, Captain. Whether it's winning a war or digging a tram tunnel. So we sacrificed a few dozen in the attacks to possibly protect millions. That seems like a fair exchange to me. I only hope you'll see the same and leave my name out of the discussions to come. That is a pity, Captain. But I'm in no position to negotiate. Though we needn't be enemies, you and I. Just think about the opportunity I've provided here. There are more on the horizon. If you do the right thing.
Я не понимаю, каких. Я не понимаю, о чем. По факту он стоит за нападением на город. Именно тогда, когда это стало необходимым. Что там в Activities обновилось? Кто такой Ривка? Ну, да, наверное, все-таки, да.
Jane's Goods has all the basics we might need to stay out in space a while longer.
Stay clear of the range or it's live fire.
Не, он должен понести наказание. За убийство, получается, несчастных пилотов. Знаете, когда чувак считает, что он for greater goods, может делать все, что угодно. Значит, в следующий раз этим anti-greater goods может стать кто угодно.
Being a miner is dreary. Being a mining executive is
Прикольно.
Be careful down near the mine.
Mining the red planet ain't easy work. That's for sure.
Since you helped us out with the equipment and all, I was wondering if I could... We'll get to that. Will you listen to what I have to say? It's probably not, but I think... No idea. Some sort of lung rot. Maybe from all the Martian dust that... I know. I wish it were. Actually, maybe this is wrong. You're a total... You're right. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm just nervous. See, I'd like to go to Reliant Medical for treatment, but my father, Nathan, is... I came to Sidonia to escape him. Nathan is not a good man. Not to me. And I did something terrible to him. He has connections with doctors throughout the settled systems. I don't know which ones I can trust, and it won't end well for me if they sneak. After my mother died in an accident, he changed. He became obsessed with my protection, but he never listened to what that was doing to me. It got worse and worse. First, it was no traveling in ships without one of his pilots. Then no parties, no drinking, no leaving the house. I obeyed. But he didn't trust me. so we started monitoring. It became so bad. He once locked me in my room for 2 days after an argument. Can you believe? Every day there was yelling, lack of freedom, threats. I had to. It's worse than you think. I didn't just run away from him. I knocked him unconscious, then stole his ship while he was out cold. Trust me, it was warranted at the time. After I ditched it above Aquila, I bounced around the settled systems until I landed here. It's the last place I thought he'd find me. But all that changes if I pop up in the Reliant database. He'll know I'm in Sidonia, and he'll never stop looking for me. Last I heard, he no longer cares for my safety. He only wants revenge. I have little doubt he would throw me in jail for as long as possible. Or worse.
Да.
It's a risk I have to take. Yes, my condition is getting worse, but if my father finds me, well, I know my father and I... Trevor tells me you're skilled in dealing with people. Maybe you could try to reason, but you should know. He is powerful and if it works, I'll be free. If not, well, at least he's... It just so happens there's a conference he goes to on Neon around this time of year.
Ой.
He always... He won't see visitors he doesn't know, but maybe he'll talk if you tell him you're there on my behalf. It's... I've got it. Bring him a bottle of his favorite whiskey, Red Harvest Reserve. Say it's... That whiskey is exceedingly rare. I'm sure it will pique his interest enough to hear what you have to say. As much as possible, yes. I intend to patch things up with him and work. I believe with therapy we could repair our relationship. Or if you discover it is irreparable, at least you could put the fear of God. There may be, but getting him to listen to you is the key here. And what I've told you is there was a time he had a falling out with his brother, and that whiskey did the trick to bring them. With that gift, he... Good luck. You can check with Jack at the Broken Spear for the whiskey. He may have some more. And thank you so much for...
Помогай просто каким-то бомжам.
Deimos Staryard acknowledges the efforts of its citizens to make our city a happy and productive place to work. Thank you for your daily contributions to our prosperity.
Sometimes
Бищам, ну да. Погодь. Да блин, почему мы опять здесь? Чё нельзя сразу внутрь, вот, просто внутри загрузить?
The Lux condos aren't anything special, but plenty of people call them home.
Welcome to Sidonia Security. I'm Commander Vincent Woodard, Chief of Planetary Security and former head of the Red Devils program here on Mars. I tend to deal with security at a high governmental level, whereas my associate Booth over there handles day-to-day security issues. So if you're looking to report a minor crime or misdemeanor, see him. But if there's something I can help you with, feel free to ask. Only the finest bunch of soldiers to ever grace the UC with their service. Of course, I may be biased as a Red Devil myself, and head of the program. Well, former, I should say. Program's been defunct since the armistice that ended the colony wars. It put a stop to any and all Xeno warfare. I fought to keep them operational here, but the top brass concluded that without their unique alien bioweapon training, there was no need for a separate elite soldier program. Still do, technically. I'm a naval commander. But they've got me here pushing pencils ever since the Red Devils disbanded. I pull double duty, aiding in recruitment and serving as the Sidonia Security Chief, representing the UC. If you ask me, though, nothing's been the same since the Red Devils' glory days. All the goddamn time. It's been about 20 years, but every time a new recruit crosses my desk, I size them up and wonder if they have what it takes to be a Red Devil. I'd give my left thumb to recruit fresh devils again, but it'd take nothing short of a miracle to convince the top brass to reinstate the program. It's small, it's dusty, it's old, but it's home. It may not be anything fancy, but I couldn't dream of living anywhere else. That's a pretty serious accusation. I assume you have proof of these alleged illicit activities? Let me take a look at that. Well, this doesn't look good for Hearst. I'll say that. You did the right thing by coming to me. I'll take it from here. The United Colonies thanks you for your vigilance.
Опять.
Just because the governor's office is right out there on the main. Level doesn't mean it's not secure.
По 100 раз этого не делать.
I heard they found another new freshwater deposit.
People always ask me what I think about.
Been serving drinks here for over 40 years. Few places can offer that kind of stability. Only that I didn't care much for them getting disbanded years ago. I am, but you don't look like the type that could afford. The last person that came through here asking about it was none other than Governor Hearst. Didn't even want to drink it. Said he was buying it to put it on display in his office or something. Seems like a waste, but... Now you got my attention. This ought to be good. You're gonna have to be more convincing than that.
Mm-hmm. True.
I do believe you, but you realize what kind of a bind this puts me in, right? You said that already. I'm not buying it. Sorry, not buying your story. You want that whiskey, you gotta pay full price. Final offer. Did you want their stuff or not?
Братан.
Welcome to Sidonia's. I tend to deal, but if there's some... Only the... Well, former. I fought to keep them.
I fuck with people.
Still do. I pull double duty. If you ask me, then... Oh, but it's been about... I'd give my left thumb. It's small. It may not be anything fancy. That's a pretty serious... Let me... Well, I'll take it from here. The United Colonies thanks you for your vigilance.
Ага, это еще обновила мою эту Legacy Forge.
Community center on P1 is a good place to connect with others. Mainly spiritual.
A friend offered me a nice cushion.
Safe scam.
Keep it simple or keep to yourself. Only that I didn't.
Неприятный чел.
I am. Last person. Didn't even want. Now you got mine. I do believe you. Easy. We're just talking, right? Tell you what, I'll do this as a favor for Rivka. She's been doing well. I'll only charge you what I paid for the whiskey years ago. Give me that, and it's yours. I sure hope you're not pulling my leg about this whole thing, or else I just let all that money slip away. You better do justice for Rivka.
Кайфы.
We have the tech to instantly jump across the
Не, мы могли бы украсть у чувака, он сказал, что он это выставил.
I thought the waterfall in New Atlantis was just a story, until I saw it for myself.
Почему у меня много меток? Что это за бред? Подождите. Ладно. Видимо, это глюк. Ребята, у меня хрень произошла. Вы видите, что происходит?
I'm sorry, I really can't afford to be distracted. I need to get to the bottom of this. Yes, concerned is an understatement. I work for the scientific division of MAST. I've been studying this tree for quite some time, and it appears to be exhibiting some worrying signs. Are you familiar with this particular specimen? Do you understand its importance? Look, I have a lot of work to do here. If you're just going to gawk, I'd ask that you move on. If you can actually assist me, however, I don't normally solicit help from random passersby, but it seems an exception is necessary. Well, that's... There's a series of biosensors I've placed in various locations around New Atlantis. They've been running for long enough that I think it's time to collect and analyze their findings. If you would bring them to me, that would save time.
Что происходит?
Perfect timing. We just got in.
So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Asylees are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Any leads on who might have committed the attacks?
That seems unlikely, considering he's been dust for about 20 years.
I'm sure the captain just misspoke. Right? No, that's impossible. He's gone. My father is
Как он может
dead.
звать father?
Good God, you're not kidding.
Alive. The Invictus is alive?
How did you find him?
Wait. You knew he was alive and didn't tell us? You were sworn to... You swore. You were just
Doing your duty, weren't you? Yeah, I guess I, of all people, should know what a burden that can be. Doesn't mean I'm not mad. But I guess you letting us know late is preferable to never. Now at least we can inform the cabinet and let them deal with him. I'm sure he did. But he killed dozens of people. And I'm not about to let him get away with
Согласен.
something like that.
Согласен.
But now I guess we've got our answer. Nothing left to do but put it all in front of the cabinet. Any last things we needed to discuss? This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the terramorphs. It's hard to know. Unlike my father, the cabinet aren't butchers. But killing UC citizens, along with everything else he's done, is unforgivable. But if you're really that concerned, you could request they be lenient. They might be willing to spare him. Asylees aren't hostile to humans, but they are megafauna. If someone decides to pick a fight with one, it could get ugly. But they've already been spread far and wide once before when the UC was raising them as livestock, so the risk of introducing them to new worlds is minimal. Using them to clean up the terramorphs and leeches, though, it's not going to be nearly as expedient as the microbe would be. Given what we know now about the Lazarus plant, the speed of the job does matter. But going with the Asylees, we're at least dealing with known risks. They are.
Microbe needed minimal adjustment to account for heat leech anatomy.
And the Asylees seem like they're even better at tracking leeches than morphs.
Hell of a sight to watch, though, when they catch them. Like an open airlock, guzzling angry spaghetti. Microbe is gonna make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
Какая спокойно стал говорить.
You know the science. You know we can make this safe.
I do know the science. I also know math. And a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't 0. So I guess we're still in discussion. Probably best at this point to let the cabinet wait. See if they have a preference. And here we go.
Я надеюсь, что мы подходим к концу. этого всего. Что у меня 2 метки?
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true? This report comes from a particularly confidential source both you and I are familiar with, yes. Among the reasons its findings are so alarming. Now, is it true? Was the attack on New Atlantis planned?
My God.
An attack? Using terramorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlays commit these attacks, Captain?
Orlays? Well, ma'am, it seems your report is incorrect. Francois Sanon was responsible for the attacks.
He did what?
That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was gonna end in tragedy.
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave this room. Now that's quite the accusation your group is leveling. Seeing as Francois Sanon has not left containment for the better part of 2 decades. You have evidence to back this up?
It just transformed a terramorph out of thin air.
Это запись 20-летней давности.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Francois.
He knew they could do this. And said nothing.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, man.
Я согласен.
Officer,
Он взял на себя ответственность, которую... Еще и, я говорю, и напал на город, чтобы нас продвинуть. Нафиг надо было делать.
Though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject once confronted with that recording. Chief Yassine, can you send one of your interrogators to have a little chat with the Admiral?
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered. Well, I don't think the United Colonies can thank you enough. We failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Vayvictus sooner. I intend to rectify that mistake immediately. That's truly disconcerting to hear. But cutting off Vayvictus's contact with the outside world is likely to be just the beginning of his punishment. That will be up to the cabinet to decide. But I don't appreciate our mercy being taken advantage of. I'm not sure I see why someone with UC blood on their hands would merit leniency. But I will note your request when the decision is made. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. with the threads you've brought together here. The Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches. The three of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinium. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President.
Well, luckily the natural hostility of Londinium makes keeping out trespassers relatively easy. But we'll ensure its growth is contained, that access to the plant is only permitted via highly regulated clearances, and that our true presence on Londinium is increased. We're already discussing the elimination of one species, Captain. Explain to me why you wish to eliminate another. I'm not sure I like what you're suggesting. The UC's only plan is to protect lives. Though, I won't discount that perhaps your proposal could get us closer to that goal. So, explain to me your thinking in destroying the plant.
That is an idea with some merit to it. Decrease the likelihood of anything like this occurring again, and further relations between our two factions.
Two birds with a single stone. Very well. We'll include the collective in the removal process. Thank you for the suggestion, Captain. So then, to our final topic. The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps? The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the Cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've been having similar debates ourselves, but the Captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know...
Блин, серьезно, меня вешают этот выбор, серьезно. Деплоинг — это уничтожение. Я забыл, что такое деплой.
These are topics of the utmost importance.
Тут ничего не предлагается
Take your
толком.
time. Please, ask. The responsibilities will be spread across multiple branches of the UC. Research and day-to-day administration will be handled by a new group under the Science Division. All diplomatic concerns and coordination will fall to Chief Yassine and Interstellar Affairs. But most of the actual on-the-ground work, that'll be handled by the Vanguard. This won't work without them.
Exactly right, ma'am. The Interstellar Affairs Office has already begun reaching out to worlds throughout the settled systems, informing them of the risks we're all facing, and that the UC has a plan to prevent what happened on New Atlantis from happening elsewhere. Thus far, the response has been overwhelmingly positive. The spirit of mutual cooperation displayed between the UC and the Freestar Collective in managing the Terramorph data set a good tone for the work we're doing, Captain. We expect we'll hit some resistance, but our office has plenty of carrots and sticks to ensure the program's widespread success.
Infinitesimally low.
But not zero.
The chance of a starship landing on you as you sit here isn't zero, yet you still attended. Personally, my fear isn't mutation, but Terramorphs developing a resistance. But that's something our group can continue to address if we decide to take this approach, as I believe we should. I can feel this one. While intimidating creatures, certainly, Asylees are docile and less provoked. They're honestly closer to oversized mobile scanners than deadly predators. The concern is that, while all proposed methods will be long-term efforts, the Asylees are the slowest. Slow to breed, slow to deploy. We do everything we could to accelerate that process, including mustering some of our mothballed cloning technologies. But if we do elect to use this method, we'll be doing things at the pace of a megafauna, which is not an expedient one.
Very well. Then did you have a preference on the method we should deploy? I believe we have a responsibility to do something, yes. Heavens forbid, years from now, someone reopens the Pandora's box that Vivictus discovered. It falls to us to enact every measure required to ensure that day never comes.
Да блин.
I'm in full agreement. No need be delving into unpredictable sciences.
And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately.
Я даже не понял, как раз, что было два способа. Я, если честно, видимо, что-то пропустил. Мне только сейчас дошло, что они отдельные, Эсилис и отдельно Microbes.
As befits such a group, the cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies, or done great things.
Так, то есть ничего не значит, да?
Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of colonial goods. And I'm told the penthouse is rather impressive. You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts, spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
And as a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you, Captain, will have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
Ну, пойдет. В целом пойдет. Не буду говорить ничего плохого. Блин.
We all have our tasks, Captain. Best we get to them.
Разве не с этим надо поговорить, нет? Погодите, мне кажется, что что-то не то. Да ёб твою налево, а? Опять везде деревья.
Well, well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. Congratulations, Captain.
Mm-hmm.
It's a high honor. Have to do something big for the colonies to earn that sort of designation. Only ever met a couple myself, and certainly never given one orders. You should be real proud. No need to thank me. You brought this on yourself. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And the credits should be in your accounts now. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Aphelion Realty office. They should be able to grant you access.
Mm-hmm.
Just out the front door and across the plaza, by the embassies. Look for the Aphelion sign. Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate what you've done.
12 тысяч самый большой,
But,
пока что не
all that
платил.
squared, it's time to get you a new assignment. There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats on the horizon. Any of those missions call to you? Any chance to bag some bugs, right? Well, I can provide. Let me just check my logs. Okay, these coordinates should get you to your first target.
Потрясающие миссии пошли, видимо. Не, мне нужно новую квартиру посмотреть. Что за индийские мотивы?
I have a pen pal.
Я надеюсь, там небольшая миссия, потому что я не хочу там дальше ничего делать. Что мы соберем, потом окажется, что надо хра забрать и так далее, там подобное. Так мы только что отсюда. О, вечный огонь, ничего себе.
You get there. Fill out an application today to become part of the most advanced technology corporation in the settled systems.
Посмотрите, сколько их.
Keep your nose clean. Last thing I want is to charge you.
Hey, are you looking for eggs too? I've only found one so far, but I want to find more before anyone else does. So if you see some, can you tell me? Yeah, it was. Weird, right? Miss Seng over at UC Distribution bought the one I found, and she said she might buy more if I can find them. I could really use the credits.
Слушайте, мне кажется, у меня просто все лагнуло, у меня просто так метки стоят. Просто так.
Do you have a story for me or not? Welcome to SSNN, where the news never sleeps.
Да, у меня просто все
So
метки
part of the
горят, я
David
понял.
Barron fan club, try not to inflate his ego too much. He's liable to burst.
All this way.
A cog in the machine. If you mean literally, Nadia Mufaz. Head researcher of the office.
Папа Симба?
So if we got any facts wrong, I'm the one who files your complaint into the shredder. We spend hundreds of hours digging into stories, sorting the lies from the damned lies. Then David performs a 2-minute segment and wins an award. Who'd have a problem with that? Sounds like you know him personally. Let's take a look at you. You're not from around here. My guess is you work, really work, for a living. I bet you have a story or two. I have a feeling about such things. Sounds like an old pickup line. But it really has, hasn't it? I'm interested only in primary sources. So things you've seen and or done that are newsworthy. No hearsay. So, what do you got for me? Dear Lord, everyone wants to know about Baron. He's a smart guy. He cares about what he's reporting. He's way too damn cozy with the UC, and that's a problem for us staying impartial. My biggest beef with him is he's credited with everything he reports, and he doesn't lift a finger to correct that impression. We're short-staffed, overworked, and trying to report on a million things at once. Not to mention there's a constant battle with the powers that be to maintain our journalistic principles. So, things are just swell. I'm working on an investigative piece about some of the businesses in the well right now. Trying to get a handle on how things are in that part of the city. I'm not sure the story will get off the ground, though. I asked the higher-ups if I could go down there for some interviews, but they said it's too dangerous. They'd probably be all for it if David asked. Really? You sure? The well's a pretty dangerous place. It might be too much for a first-time reporter. Who do I look like? David Barron? Yeah, I'd give you credit for your work. Credits, too. I have a small budget for things like this. Great. I had 3 interviewees in mind. Teresa Mason, the owner of Kay's House, Henrik Zoran at Apex Electronics, and Nurse O'Shea from the Medbay. You don't need to ask too many tough questions. I just want to read on how their businesses are doing, and how things are in the well. I really can't thank you enough.
Слушай, ну, короче, все пошли идиотские квесты.
Welcome to SSNN.
Эта метка не туда 100%. Ну, чекайте. Ну, нафига она сюда? Я не понимаю.
Service with us. I've met so many interesting people from. Take it easy.
Welcome to UC Distribution. Who, Jordan? That kid's in here every other day with some random thing he found. Trying to get credits. Yeah, I took pity on him. Why, what is it? Oh, really?
Ah.
Well, you can have it back for what I paid for it, plus a little extra. Let's call it a convenience fee, shall we? I could, but I did pay for it. I'd like to recover my losses. And it's all the way in the back room.
Я
I'd have to
понял
walk
теперь.
back there, then back out here. You did say this was important after all. Honestly, it's probably worth way more than what we're talking about.
Ладно, мы заплатим.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Тварь.
You're always welcome back, if you don't mind a bit of a wait.
Желаю тебе и твоим детям сесть на яйцо. Почему там 2 метки? Уже одна. Если чувак нам заплатит за издержки. Ну, уже 8:30, кстати. Это плохо. Я бы 9 уже хотел закончить, но... Женщин нет. Не, она еще даже не выехала. Вот что за... Тупые глючащие метки. Короче, это не был случайный мув. Он реально стырил яйцо. Продал какой-то бабки. Ну что за идиотизм? Почему у меня все метки, сука, работают? Ну что, кто за мудак это придумал, блин? Это с интервью.
Buying? You better be buying. First of all, I didn't ask what you thought of it. Second, don't blow smoke up my ass. We both know it ain't nice. Down here? Like that's somehow different from other bars? Worse, maybe? What are you? A structural engineer? I know full well what down here. Down here? Yeah, well... Yeah, alright. Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna be stuck in this place for long. Oh, all I need is some grease. Now to turn it into a... Just these baby terrormorphs.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care.
I've got limit. We're doing the best we can here. That's all we can ever do. A journalist? That's a surprise. Most people don't think anything that goes on in the well is worth writing. I'd be happy to... Things are always the same in the well. Violent and dangerous. I swear. Sure, if you'd like. My name's Talia. I was born and raised right here in the well. Once upon a time, I was a combat medic for the UC Navy. When the colony...
Очень интересно.
Things are always rough at the... The last few weeks have been just crazy. Oh, you're sweet to offer. There might be something you can do, if you're willing. Let's chat again when you have some time to spare. All right, dear. You let me know if there's anything else I can do for you.
Посмотрите на количество меток, это просто это смешно.
No shortage of hungry mouths to feed around here. Keeps us... Mom, that's Kay, gets all the credit. Started making sure people felt welcome back when I was just a kid. She had one rule. No causing trouble. Everyone abided by it. Put their differences aside when they came. After a few years of feeding so many mouths, we needed extra credits to stay afloat. Didn't mean for this to turn into a business, but if folks are willing to pay a little to have someplace to feel safe and get a decent meal... Absolutely. I'm sure my mom would be proud to have the place featured in an article. Business is steady, as usual. We don't tolerate violence or disrespect. The only thing that's worrying me is a new group of customers I've seen hanging around lately. They've been watching the youth. I have a bad feeling they might be planning something. Case House has a reputation as a safe place. I don't want to be... Honestly, I'd really appreciate that. I'd feel terrible if something happened and I... Why don't you come by when you have some spare time? Yeah, sure thing. I'm Teresa Mason, and this is my home. My mom's the Kay who founded Kay's house. I grew up here. My mom passed the place on to me when she decided to retire. Same as ever. I've lived in the well my whole life, and things. The UC government promises to clean the place up every couple years, but there's still just... That's why Kay's house is so important. It's the one place people in the well feel safe. Great. Let me know when the article comes out, will you? I'd like to read it.
It's nice to see a fresh face around here. You stop in whenever you'd like.
Хочется тому мудаку, который сделал такое количество меток, из-за которого это багуется, руки оторвать. Ну, чувак натуральный мудила. Что можно сказать? Если это сейчас не закончится, мы просто офнем, потому что, ну, как в это играть? Ну, опять нет, все.
I appreciate your assistance, but I still need all of those sensors. If it isn't my favorite almost a lab assistant, what can I do for you?
So you do.
Wonderful. I'll just take these, and we'll see what they have to tell us. All right, we'll just upload the data. Give it a moment. And just another moment. It is working, isn't it? Ah, there it is. Relief. Now, let's see. This is... Well, it's... Oh my. Well, there's good news and bad news. The good news is that my suspicions were correct. There is something wrong with the tree. I will report my findings to MAST immediately with no small amount of satisfaction. The phrase, "I told you so," may even be uttered more than once. Yes, it does feel good to be right. Particularly when others have attempted to convince you otherwise. Repeatedly. The bad news, as it were, is that the internal composition of the tree is changing. In this particular case, the tree is now regularly emitting ultra-low frequency sound waves. They're nearly imperceptible now, but they're growing in strength. This is something we've never observed before. Depending on how large these waves grow, consequences for the city could be disastrous. I must consult with my colleagues in MAST at once. Thank you for your assistance. I hope these credits are adequate compensation.
А у нас все равно не меняется. Я не могу, оно так глючит, это просто жесть. . . 。  . 。 . 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Так, пауза небольшая. Так, ребята.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Dad.
A haiku. Sounds exciting to me.
Okay. It's called space. Space is cold and dark. Starships fly there like comets, carrying us.
Он точно здесь вообще? Метки что, сошли с ума здесь, в принципе? Так. Угу. Поняли? Еще одну локацию загружать. Давайте. Тут же огромная локация, правильно? Мы уже до этого не загружали ее.
went to a lot of effort to find me. Goddamn Gallbank. Will they ever give up? I'm gonna give you one chance. Leave. Let some other errand girl do Gallbank's dirty business. Otherwise, it's not gonna end well for you, my friend. Why the hell would I do that? Yeah, not falling for that one. You talk a good game. Can you back it up? Not sure you can really back up.
Да блин, что за бред?
Enough! I've had enough of you. This ends.
Все, мимо нафиг. Он нам запретил его трогать.
You went to a lot of effort to find me. Goddamn Gallbank. Will they ever give up? I'm gonna give you one chance. Leave. Let some other errand girl do Gallbank's dirty business. Otherwise, it's not gonna end well for you, my friend. Why the hell would I do that? I don't think so. Is that really how you want it? You don't scare me! All right, all right. Took me ages to collect this. But I just want a decent night's sleep. And here, debt repaid. Now get the hell out of here.
Что, у тебя реально ничего нет? Ты нищий, что ли? Кайфы, конечно. Интересно, очень интересно. То есть, я не представляешь, последние несколько дней здесь только есть... О, слушай, оказывается, есть транспорт, а почему на нем нельзя ездить? Блин, это же упростило бы жизнь на планетах. Так. Не, ну сюжетка с авангардами нормальная. Дружище, это не так работает. Тут лоу-сит работает буквально. Он просто садится и ничего не делает. Если предлагать что-то использовать, то у тебя там должно высвечиваться юз. Почему у меня две метки? Что происходит? Что за кал? Опять глючит эта странная игра. Почему столько меток? Ну, 30 FPS, но...
Together we can really make a difference. My favorite credit analyst is back. You got Mr. Maliki to pay up, alive no less. Now this is what I was hoping for. My superiors are thrilled, ecstatic. Absolutely.
Две метки, 6-3.
I'm really feeling this working together, aren't you? So if you want another
Только что их было 8, если что. Минут 10 назад.
Here is your well-deserved finder's fee. I threw in a little extra for handling it well.
Что игра сошла с ума и показывала все метки на карте сейчас. Ну, в смысле, на земле.
You can
Он дал нам новую миссию. Он обещал нам новую миссию. А, ну все, можем прокачать. Найс. Кайфы. Здесь еще 18 надо добить. Отлично.
So chalk this one up to a very fine but clearly overworked credit checker that accidentally approved a sizable loan.
Без шуток, как игра-то.
Then turned out
Да,
to be
пойдет.
murdering space scum. A real
Если бы не бесконечные загрузки,
I'm thinking
если бы не просадки
conversation is
FPS,
not
была бы
really
нормальная
an
игра.
option on this one, friend. It's all a matter of scale. Gal Bank processes umpteen loans a day. Inevitably, mistakes are made. And that's
Я бы
nice.
сказал, что она
A sort of fiscal circle of
хуже,
life,
чем
if you will.
Skyrim. Но лучше, наверное, чем Fallout 4.
You are really something, you know. Here's all the details. And thanks.
Хотя, ну так если подумать, я не вижу особых отличий от Fallout 4, действительно. Миссии плюс-минус такие же. Мейн-квест, насколько мы знаем, кал. Почему у меня миссии не обновляют? Не понимаю. Серьезно? Kill Liquid Spacer. Ну, пошли пофайтимся тогда. Почему нет? Ладно, кайфуй, ББ. Спасибо большое, что зашел. Ты тоже кайфуй. О, нифига далеко. Жесть. Как мне туда попасть? Не понял. Что за бред происходит? Почему я не могу сюда путешествовать? Так они все похожи друг на друга, нет? Вау, как приятно перемещаться по планетам.
Approaching ship, you've entered Freestar Collective space. Maintain your current course while we scan for contraband.
Еще бы. Никакой контрабанды. Они реально похожи. Это просто Земля опять. Просто названия планет другие. Что это такое? А, Нион вот здесь, прикольно. Я сдох. Да блин, я вообще не ту клавишу нажимаю. Да. Стоп, блин. Где эта тварь? Ну нам хана. Что будем коллектить? Прикольно. Так, еще полчаса максимум. Если честно, ушел у Голбанка целой миссии. Там был написано именно kill.
Together we can really make a difference. One pirate's unfortunate demise logged. We're making space safer, fulfilling our civic obligation. This is great, right?
Понял. Надо чинить его.
Glad to be a part of the team.
I'm sorry. He teaches can turn.
Anything I can help you with?
What?
And he's your new captain, Mike Krugen. You were able to land it, so I'm sure whatever's broken can be fixed. Everything looks good here. I'll be at my booth if you need.
Hi, Captain. Good to see you.
This is United Colonies space. Maintain current course while we scan for contraband. Scan complete. Welcome to Gagarin. You are clear to land.
Я считаю, что нам пора в Неон и потом в Ковбойский город. Так что, может быть, пройтись немножко по мейн-квесту. Опять метка во мне. Ну, вы поняли.
Man, what a cool place. I'd settle down here in a heartbeat.
Да блин. Я не успеваю двигаться. Блин. У меня костюм что вылечил. Ну, можно было бы с корабля его расстрелять, прикиньте. Но мы не в игре туда города. Да сука! Тварь. Нет, что-то овнить тераморфов вообще не весело, вам так скажу. Пошли отсюда нафиг. Да, это патрон тратить. Ну его нафиг.
All systems looking good, boss.
Ему надо оружие какое-нибудь дать.
Been in the Vanguard a long time. I'm happy to lend a hand. See you later.
Аллигейта. Даже не знаю. Снова здравствуйте, прости, что так поздно. Да я уже заканчиваю. The boot. Travel to the den. Мне это неинтересно. Riri application. Что тут нет нормальных миссий, если честно. Давайте вот это. Что по состоянию? Почему не лечитесь? Вообще-то лечусь. В смысле не лечусь? Сами вы не лечитесь. А я лечусь. А я лечу и лечусь. Стоп, 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 стоп. Как всегда, глючащая клавиша 100%. Оп-оп-оп. Так. Появилась клавиша внезапно вообще. Я вот тоже заболел, башка болит сильно, выбора нет, завтра пойду в Шкилу, вы тоже завтра пойдете? Но у меня тем более выбора нет. Я не умираю, но мне не то чтобы... Мне нехорошо, но я и не умираю, хотя по голосу звучит так, будто бы я умер уже. Вот. Было плохо с утра, но сейчас нормально. Мне кажется, что это ковид. У меня почему-то такие ощущения, что все заболели ковидом.
Only a matter of time before I get promoted out of here. You look like you've got news. It better be good news. Okay, come on. Don't keep me in suspense. When do I ship out?
Так, ладно, моя женщина выехала, это хорошо. Меня просто завтра обещал мероприятие провести, я не могу подвести детей. Плюс мне надо еще по диктантам что-то сказать. Я просто понимаю, что если меня там не будет хотя бы 3 дня, будет катастрофа. Хотя школа у меня уже, если честно, вот вчера она сделала последний шаг, наверное, к моему увольнению, типа. Теперь 37,8 кайф. По диктанту все плохо. Ну да, по оценкам так точно.
Hello?
Так, you're not shipping out of anyway.
What? How could it be better? Oh, come quit messing with me and just tell me
Бородка, мне
already.
кажется, смешная. Чем-то он на твоего бывшего одноклассника похож, который теперь в моем классе учится. Прической, что ли, лицом, что-то такое. Вот бородку бы еще такую. Жаре.
Wow, really?
Блин, эмоции у них, конечно, потрясающие.
Unique in the history of the Vanguard. That's good, right? Okay. Okay, finally some real recognition. Thanks for doing the legwork here. I'm not gonna forget that you helped me out. And someday, when I'm running the Vanguard, I'm gonna make sure you get paid big time.
Чувак, я уже гражданин номер 1.
My account's a little light, so this is the best I can do. But really, I mean it. I'm gonna remember this.
Короче, потому что я сегодня с утра встал, часов в 9, сам, без будильника, и, ну, мне горло было очень сухое. Я жаропонижающий зачем при 37,7? Жаропонижающий принимать, когда там за 38. Потому что это довольно, если что, жаропонижающий довольно плохо действует на организм. Я сейчас не шучу. Вообще жаропонимающий, в принципе, лучше не принимать, но понятно, что когда температура жесткая, то как бы что делать? Где-то тут была еще миссия на... Ну, мы на Дэне же, правильно? Почему моя метка все еще не там, где надо? Не понял. Пацаны. The place the boots in a crate. I've agreed to help Antonio Bianchi dispose of a pair of boots leaving from to the den. Ну. Да, это The Den, но мы на The Den. А метка где? Почему метка на мой корабль? Подождите, ничего не понимаю. Так, либо бейсбол, еще щеку разодрал. Ну, это ты зря. Ну, показывают мне то же самое. Короче, ладно. Там написано, что в баре внизу. Идем в бар вниз.
I'm on with you. Don't let Orville get to you. Just smile, take your drink. Ooh, well. Orville over there is still stuck. The Vanguard pilots, they mostly just resent guarding the ass end of New. And me? Well, it's as good a place. You know, that's a good question. I do stuff for Orville sometimes, odd jobs or whatever, when he's not annoying. But I think technically... I mean, I could probably go look it up. But as long as the credits keep showing up in my account, I'll keep... Yep. See ya.
Где тут бар у вас? Вот. Бар с мужиком, серьезно. Фига тут певчанского, посмотрите.
Hey there. Ain't seen you before. What brings you to the den? Ah, woman with a purpose. Good. I like that.
Sexist.
Don't worry, I won't ask questions. I know well as anyone that secrets ought to stay secret. Well, you're welcome here, so long as I don't hear you disrespecting the United Colonies military. You got a problem with our history or our heroes? You can find somewhere else to get yourself a drink. Clear? Tell me something I don't know. You should have seen this place 30 years ago.
На голому похож.
UC's best and brightest were in and out all the time. But then the colony war and, well, most folks don't like to be honest about that.
Кстати, я начал говорить и забыл. Что я проснулся, на сухость в горле. Я такой, блин, надо что-то делать, пока мама спит. Я сажусь за комп, типа помонтировать чуть-чуть. И понимаю, что я не могу смотреть в экран, у меня просто... Вот ты смотришь в экран, у тебя сильная головная боль. Очень сильная. Просто жесть. Я понял, что я не могу сидеть за компом, я понял, что я не могу ничего делать. Я лег обратно спать, и слава богу, у меня получилось уснуть.
Oh, he was a brilliant man. Just brilliant. Best leader we could have asked for in a
Блин, а мы его
crisis.
сдали.
He made the tough decisions no one else could. Did what needed to be done. Saved our asses. And when it was over, they turned on him. Called him a traitor and executed him. Just shameful. Well, not
Он
all
жив,
of us are
братан.
just gonna go along with rewriting history. Some of us remember. We saw it happen. Vae Victis sacrificed everything to save the United Colonies. That's what a real hero does. Well, now that depends. You support the UC? Consider yourself a patriot? Because I've got no time for anyone who won't acknowledge reality.
Ну, понятно, я вообще-то авангард.
Sure as hell does. All right, maybe you can help me out. Had some posters made up a while back to remind folks of the good work Vae Victis has done for all of us.
Так это у него и
Trying to
Виктис
push back
висит.
against all the lies the government tells. I'd put them up here, but that's caused some friction with the Vanguard pilots. I hate to see them go to waste, though. If a strong-willed, patriotic individual, such as yourself, could make sure some of them were placed where they could inspire the people of the United Colonies, well, that'd be something. And there'd be some credits in it for anyone helping out the UC. What do you think? I was thinking the well might be a good spot. People down there might be more receptive, don't you think?
Забавно, что я получил эту миссию после того, как он себя порочил.
That's the spirit. All right. Posters are in the back there, and you just let me know when you're done. Long live the UC.
The UFC. Ну, кстати, вот он говорит, что у него дела плохо, нормально у него дела. Все чистенько так. Да. Я бы нассал на его портрет. Посмотрите на эту метку. А, подождите, in a crate. Ну, крейт это кратер, разве нет? Нет? Нет, ящик. Крейт это ящик. А кратер это крейта. А в какой ящик-то?
Captain on deck?
Давайте по приколу. Ладно, шучу.
Aw, come on, please. I need somebody to talk to while I'm on the ship by myself.
Ворд.
Give him an inch. We'll see, Gum-Gum.
It's a little surprising, isn't it? Age of UC space. Just
Чувак, у тебя есть? То к нему нельзя, да?
I tell you, this place went...
Мне нужны бутсы. Блин, я не знаю, как они называются. Давайте посмотрим просто, как миссия называется. Так, мы не там.
Downhill as soon as everyone turned their back on history.
Я говорю, метки сегодня глючат. Может, не сегодня, а в принципе в Starfield никогда хорошо не были, но сегодня прямо по-особенному у меня.
Hey, newbie. It's a nice set of boots you got there. They for sale?
О,
I'll give you, say, 500 credits for them. They'd look better on me anyway.
угу.
Nothing. I just want yours. I don't know. Looks like they're perfect. Sturdy, polished, and just my size. But fine. If you don't want to sell, it's your loss.
Наконец-то. Нас больше на Дэнни ничего не интересует. Нет. 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 Да. Потрясающе. Господи.
You are entering United Colony space. Maintain course and prepare to be scanned. Scan.
5 миллионов меток, да что ж такое-то? Что происходит? Что?
I'm not a fan of nosy strangers. Get out of here.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
До сержанта Юми мы еще дойдем.
Always nice to see a fresh face. They're always about a million things to do.
That pilot exam's coming.
No lawyering, okay? I don't have the patience for it. That's so. Think folks down here are too poor to afford electronics. Not the first time I heard that line. Yeah, I get that kind of attitude far too often. You find yourself with any more commentary, feel free to keep it to yourself. That's so. Well, then I'm hardly the man you want to be talking with. A reporter? Fine, but I'm only talking basics. I don't like people snooping around my business. Door's still open, isn't it? That's my idea of success. Sorry if you were hoping for something more flowery. Name's Henrik. I own Apex Electronics. That's all I'm willing to say to some nosy reporter. How the hell do you think? Life's a mess down here. I'm not holding my breath for it to get any better. Great. Now why don't you help me out and buy something? I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Хоть не вижу.
I think Deimos Star Yards would hire. What am I saying? Of course
Oh wow, that watch is
А, лол. Я думал, здесь постер можно разместить.
I'm happy to make a deal. Yes, you did. You know how I know? The rain cloud over your head is all but gone. Here, for your hard work. With a Lady Locke back on my side, I expect the business to be less bust and more boom. And let us never speak of those accursed woods ever again.
Или это в Activity? Ну я не могу с этим количеством меток, это жесть. Короче, все, я не знаю, я реально, ну, я не понимаю никуда идти, ничего делать. Из-за сраных меток, они везде. Эти метки меня доконают. Забыл, где бар. Все. На этом все, дорогие друзья. Страдания на сегодня все. Прокачка на сегодня все. Все на сегодня все. Мы с вами прощаемся до неизвестного дня. Точно не до завтра. Точно не до вторника. И, скорее всего, вообще мы не встретимся с вами на этой неделе. Только, может быть, в четверг. Может быть. Но не знаю, в Старфилде ли. Может быть, в Fallout 4. Ну и, соответственно, потом уже будет у нас, ребята, Киберпанк. Киберпанк. Вот кого мы ждем. Это мы ждем Киберпанк. Всем спасибо, всем спокойной ночи, всем пока. Пока.